Good afternoon. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I'll be your host for this video today. Um, Today's video is a top 10 favorite songs, my personal favorite songs from the progressive pop rock band from the 1970s called Supertramp. Not a band I got into right away. It wasn't actually until the beginning of this album that I actually started listening to them. But I have some favorites I like on this with this group, and some songs that, you know, for my top 10, it could be from 4 till about 10, and then some of the honorable mentions that I'll mention later. They could come anywhere in this sequence. It's just that today these are the ones that I picked for this video. My top 3 have been the same for a while, maybe a long while, like at least a couple decades now, and they sometimes move around a bit, but pretty much it's been the same top 3, and then 4 through, we'll say 15, or about, change around quite a bit. Anyways, I haven't listened to the discography much in recent years because I've been listening to so much other stuff. I've just not had time for it. But today I was listening to some of the stuff before I made the video. And, they're a really good rock band. They're probably, I would say they're probably in my top 10 bands of all time. And so we're going to get to it with the first one. So number 10 is The Meaning, which comes from... Yes, from this album, Crisis What Crisis. The thing about this song I like is that it has this part at the beginning that reminds me of Ruth Buzzy, who was a comedian in the 70s. Something about Hodgson's voice just reminded me of her. So that tune caught me right away, and I listened to it quite a bit, and the vocals on it are really good, and there's a bit of a sax on it that I really like the sound of. Anyways, that's my number 10. My number 9 comes from an album I don't possess. I thought maybe I did, but I don't. Anyways, the album is called Wow, I just drew a blank. Famous Last Words. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. Anyways, the song is called It's Raining Again. It's a bit of a pop tune. You'll hear it on the radio, or you used to hear it on the radio quite a bit. I never actually listened to the album a lot, a little bit here and there, but I liked that track. I think this was towards the kind of end for me with Supertramp, where I never listened to much stuff that happened after that. But I really like this song. So it's my number 9 today. So number 8 comes from this album, Breakfast in America, which was my first Supertramp album. I got it when it just came out. I listened to it quite a bit. It's kind of very commercially. It's a commercial album in a lot of ways. Much more commercial than the other albums in the discography. At least I've discovered that it was. Initially, this was the only album I had listened to by them, so I didn't know that about them, which was, I guess in some ways, was good. But the song I've chosen from this album for my number 8 is The Logical Song. Yes, it's a radio stable, well-loved Supertramp song. I love the vocals. I just love the lyrics. I used to listen to the song quite a bit. A little bit of a burnout now, but it's still in my top 10 for today, and it's coming in at number 8. Okay, so the next song up, my number 7 song, it comes from this album, which was my second Supertramp album. This album is just a classic album, just fantastic. The song I've chosen for my number 7 song is School. I really like that part at the beginning, and then just the vocals that lead into the song, and in some ways we can kind of identify with the song too, and it had a bit of an impact. I didn't get this album for like maybe 3 or 4 years after the Breakfast in America, and I'd heard that this was a better album, but I didn't really know, and I've since decided that it is a better album. Anyway, so that's it. It's number 7, School. Actually, I'll keep it up for number 6. Also comes from this album, which is Hide Yourself Away. A song I personally identified with. In my teenage years, I spent much time reading and listening to music on my own. I did have friends and I went out and did stuff with them and stuff like that, but I liked that quiet time by myself, and this song just reminded me of that. When I first got it, I listened to it quite a bit because it would bring me back to those days that I enjoyed. Okay, so the next song up is from, where is it? This album again, Crisis What Crisis. This is a very good album, much underrated, I think. And the song on this is Sister Moonshine. Oh, what a great track. Sometimes I'll just play that one track off of the album. That's how much I like that song. It's been higher in my thing. It's always kind of been in my top 10. Goes up and down, but it hasn't suffered from any burnout or anything. I really dig the song. I listen to it, like I said. I'll pull out my Supertramp collection sometimes, and that'll be one of the songs I'm going to listen to. Okay, so number 4 is again back to this album, Crime of the Century, Bloody Well Right. Fantastic track. I think some people would probably rate that as the best track ever released by this group. I wouldn't have any arguments with that. Everybody has different what they like differently. My personal thing is the song is a good song. Doesn't quite make my top 3, but of course adds to this album. This album, like it's top to bottom, is a great album. Okay, so we're going to go on to the top 3 now. My top 3 have been pretty much my top 3 now for a couple decades. Sometimes they move around a bit, but for the last little while they've been pretty much the same 3. And we're going to start with number 3, which is Even in the Quietest Moments, which is the title track of this album. Fantastic song. The only problem with this song is that for some reason it reminds me of some events in my daughter's childhood that just brings tears to my eyes, so I can't listen to it too much because it just gets right in there with me and gives me this emotional thing. I think I really dig the piano, and the lyrics are just really hit home for me. So yeah, that's it. Even in the Quietest Moment, from Even in the Quietest Moment. Okay, the top 2 songs for me are number 2 comes from this album, which is in this kind of the same vein as Even in the Quietest Moment, the song that is. It is an emotional song to me. It's called Lord Is It Mine. And it's not a religious thing. It's just, I just really love the emotional impact of Roger Hodgson's voice in that. Really gets me all the time. But I can listen to the song a lot more. It really it's really one of my songs that I listen to quite a bit by them. Anyway, so we're down to the number 1 song, which comes from this album. It wasn't one of my favorite songs initially. Initially I liked to Give a Little Bit, which could have been up here in the top 10 today, but didn't quite make it. And there's a few others, Even the Quietest Moments. But this song, just there's something about it. Like I think I really like the bounciness of it. It's called Babaji. I hope I didn't mess that up, but that's my favorite Supertramp song. Never wears out. I play it. It's the one song that even when I'm listening to a lot of other stuff, I will sometimes drag it out and listen to it. Great song. So that's my top 10 for today. And if you have a top 10, I'd be, list them below. I'd love to see. I like to hear what people think and what kind of stuff has an impact on you. So I'll just repeat them from 1 to 10 now. So we had Babaji was number 1. Number 2 was Lord Is It Mine. Number 3 is Even in the Quietest Moments. Number 4 is Bloody Well Right. Number 5 is Sister Moonshine. Number 6 is Hide Yourself Away. Number 7 is School. Number 8 is A Logical Song. Number 9 is It's Raining Again. And number 10 is The Meaning. And You know, some honorable mentions have to go to like songs like Dreamer, Child of Vision, Take the Long Way Home, Lady from Crisis What Crisis. These are all songs that I had on my list today and moved it around. A couple of them were in there and then got moved out for various reasons. But you know, from 4 to 12 or 4 to 15, it could go any way at any given day. But for me today, that's the way it was. And anyways, if you liked what I did, please subscribe and put a like in the column, and tell me if there's stuff that you want to hear more of, or you want to talk about, or bring up stuff. That's great. Anyways, this is Prog Monster. You have a good day. Bye.